This video is sponsored by Surfshark. So going from phone to tablet is exactly the dream that Samsung is building with their ultra futuristic foldable phones. But what if I told you there's another way? Well, say hello to the NextPad, and for $250, this thing tries to turn your phone into a tablet, but in a totally different way. Hi everyone, Thao here. When you break it down, the NextPad is basically a portable monitor with strong magnets hidden inside this massive chin. This design and those magnets allow you to mount a phone to the NextPad, just like this. It comes with a circular plate that you do have to stick onto your phone for it to work. If you use a case, like most people do, you can just slap it onto the case. That's what I do. I'm not a fan of sticking stuff on my actual phone. The magnets are pretty strong, but if you shake it hard enough, the phone is definitely gonna fall off. From there, just plug your phone in and you've got yourself a makeshift tablet. Keep in mind, this only works if your phone has some sort of desktop mode. The most popular right now being DeX, a feature only found in high-end Samsung phones. I have to give them credit because the NextPad is built really well. It has that Apple aesthetic to it, almost like a mini iMac. The whole thing has a sleek and slim metal build that just feels super solid. The chin is a little jarring at first, but hey, it's functional and does give the NextPad some personality. The main attraction is a glossy 12-inch IPS display with a 16:9 Full HD resolution. It's of course a touchscreen, so you'll be able to interact with it just like you would on one of Samsung's tablets. This pre-production sample does have some backlight bleeding, which I don't love, but the screen looks pretty good and gets decently bright too. I'm just not too sure how color accurate this is out of the box, but considering that Next doesn't mention it at all, I'm gonna guess it's average at best. What's interesting is that there are absolutely no speakers built into the NextPad at all. You'll have to use the ones on your phone, which, if I'm being honest, probably sounds better than any speakers they would have included anyways. But just imagine if they put some good front-firing speakers here and here. That would have been crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. There's absolutely nothing elegant about this tablet setup, and I'm sure you'd agree. I mean, it's a cool concept, but calling this a tablet is a bit of a stretch. There's no way you'd be able to use this handheld like you would with an iPad or Galaxy Tab. It's just too clunky. The NextPad also doesn't have a built-in battery either, which means if you don't have it plugged in, it'll eat away at your phone's battery pretty darn quickly. On the bright side, it does support pass-through charging, so when you do plug it in, it'll power the NextPad and slowly charge up your phone at the same time. We of course gotta talk about the weight. My setup right here with the NextPad paired with a Note 20 Ultra Plus case is right around 1 pound. For reference, the Galaxy Tab S8 Plus weighs in at 567 grams. Bottom line, it's sorta hefty, and this cable here also gets in the way when you try to hold it. Thankfully, they include a kickstand, so you can place this on your desk, coffee table, or even prop it up to use in bed. It attaches to the back of the NextPad with magnets as well, and I love that it includes a neat little spot for you to store the USB-C cable when you're not using it. The magnets are super strong and the hinge has good resistance, so you can angle the NextPad at whatever angle you want. When I started using the NextPad like this, pretty much like a portable monitor, that's when it started to grow on me. It makes way more sense on a desk. Samsung DeX works perfectly fine with touch controls, but it's clearly designed to be paired with a mouse and keyboard. This kind of setup is only possible on a tabletop. Now, I don't love the massive chin, but when it's popped up on the desk like this, it actually lifts the screen up slightly closer to eye level, so I'm not looking down as much, which I appreciate. At my desk, I also don't really care that it doesn't have a battery because I can just keep it plugged in. Another clue as to why I think this is meant for the desk, if you look at the bottom, you'll also notice connector pins. Next mentioned that they might be coming out with a keyboard cover. But yeah, that's not confirmed yet. Hopefully they do. In terms of ports, there's a mini HDMI 2.0 and dual USB-C 3.1 ports on the left side. Either one of these USB ports will work with DeX. On the right, you'll find a single USB-C port for plugging in things like a keyboard, mouse, or headphones, and also a button to bring up the display menus, which gives you a surprising amount of options to tweak the display. So that's not all. The NextPad is also marketed as a second display for your MacBook or pretty much any USB-C laptop. Now, there's plenty of portable monitors on the market, and at $250, you can for sure find cheaper options on Amazon. But this does have a neat trick up its sleeve. Check this out. Take the stand off, flip it around, and thanks to the magnets, it can attach to my 14-inch MacBook Pro. Just like this. The only problem? It also needs a magnetic plate. The benefit of mounting it in a stacked layout like this is that it's more ergonomic. The screen is right around eye level and you don't have to turn your head like you would if it was just sitting off to the side. But once again, not really a big fan of sticking stuff to my laptop. Not to mention how silly it looks. The setup looks cool initially, but after a while, it's sort of clunky and just makes adjusting the laptop more work than it needs to be. I honestly don't know how many MacBook owners would go for something like this either. The taller shape and no cover for the screen would make this awkward to carry along with you. Apple also has Sidecar, which lets you use an iPad as a second screen. If that's all you need, putting the $250 towards an iPad is probably going to be a better investment. Another good investment would be a VPN from today's video sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN that encrypts all your data before it goes over the internet, so people you don't want having access to your personal information won't have access to it, especially on sketchy public Wi-Fi. My favorite feature is that you can use Surfshark to access content that might be blocked in your country. As a Canadian, I love that I can watch shows from the US, South Korea, or anywhere I want. And there's no limit to the number of devices you can connect at once either, so keep the whole family secure too. Click the link below and use my promo code Thao. You'll get 83% off and 3 months completely free. At the end of the day, this is a very unique concept, and I love seeing companies try cool things, even if it might not appeal to everyone. The NextPad doesn't really turn your phone into a tablet. The weight and lack of a battery sort of kills that idea, at least for me. This is more of a tabletop device. If you recently upgraded your phone and have an old Samsung phone lying around not being used, something like this could give that phone a second life. You could use it as a dedicated device to watch stuff around the house, or even pair up a keyboard plus mouse and get some light work done too. Like I mentioned, the NextPad is essentially a 12-inch portable monitor with magnets and a stand to give it unique functionality. It's a solid portable monitor. You just gotta decide if that extra functionality is worth the $250 price tag. For Dex fans, it's definitely worth considering over other portable monitors. But for everyone else, I'm not so sure. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, I'm out of here.